I really enjoy working with wood. I find it helps give character to my characters. There's an existing grain, it splinters, it rips, the lines are never clean, especially in the subject matter I tend to work within, which is industrial history. There is a real rawness to that subject, a rawness that's kind of beautifully represented in the rawness of the wood. Today we're going to work on this large wooden silhouette. Going to fix up the drawing, sort of correct the mistakes, and then going to start carving it. And then I will ink up the whole figure. So what we'll be left with is a black figure with a detailed face. This piece here is part of a commission I'm working on at the moment for a museum. A commission is where someone wants you to produce artwork or artworks for them in return for money. It's the commercial side of art. So the exhibition's, it's a history of Irish people living outside of Ireland around the world. I sort of start every project with preliminary sketches. I don't like to spend too much time on these because no one else is ever going to see these. They're not the final product. They're about working through an idea. You sort of start with these tiny black smudges almost, just looking at how you can read a stance. Then you'll sort of build that up a little bit further, looking at maybe the overall composition, working up towards sort of maybe going a little bit bigger, and changing the stance and looking at the faces and little details that can add another level of information. And from here, I'd almost be ready to go on to the final drawings. I don't think I've ever been 100% happy with something I've drawn. A bad drawing's there to be learnt from, and if you don't have these reminders that you weren't always perfect and that you couldn't always draw really well, it's quite nice to have a reflection point to see your progress. When Pokemon came out, I used to have books and books of circles with all these different creatures that I'd drawn in them when I must have been like 8 years old. And everyone in the class found them really exciting and wanted me to draw them their own figures. And that was sort of like that kind of, your friends at that age sort of getting really excited about drawing, and you being good at something is hugely encourages you to push it on. A lot of jobs are about following rules that are already determined. With art, you're encouraged to make up your own rules. There are elements to making art that I see as a job. The finding commissions, the application for prizes, the applications for work. But making the art itself doesn't seem like it's a job. It takes a lot of confidence, the idea that you can't undo, you can't rub out a chisel mark. To a viewer, they might think that I've considered every tiny little scratch in this piece of wood and that they're all intentional and really worked. They're not. Every time is kind of like an experiment, and every time the chisel touches the wood, I'm taking a risk. I'm just quite good at getting pulling them off. This is the really satisfying bit, if you've done it right. Turned out way better than I thought it would. The feeling at the end isn't about people saying they like your work. It's about people understanding and getting the work without being prompted. At no point do I get a sense of satisfaction out of someone saying, oh, it's really good, I like it. But if someone walks in and they start to read into it and get involved with the work and look at it long enough to start to pull out these little details that I thought no one would ever notice, that's when the real satisfaction comes through.